and welcome to Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. Remember to like and subscribe down below where Amanda said, and hit the little alarm bell so you get notifications when we have new podcasts. I am Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And welcome. This is episode 12. Yay. Kathleen actually just said it, so now I remember, because I would not remember otherwise because I have vacation brain. Mm-hmm. Just got back
You don't need, this isn't confessions. Real confessions.
It could be. But I feel like I need to set my expectations. So anyone who's like, well, she got it right that one time, be like, that's never going to happen again. It's only because Kathleen told me. So let's see. What's going on? What's happening around town, at least for us. I'm back from vacation. We're recording this just after Labor Day, so it's about to be school starting.
Oh my. Mm-hmm. Yep. The day that this is published will be my little kid's first day of school.
Oh, they start on Fridays?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, yeah, the little ones start on Friday, the big ones start on Thursday.
So that, I was going to say, that's even later. I mean, Montclair tends to start a little bit late. I think New Jersey and New York tend to start a little bit later.
Which is delightful when you're traveling that last week of August and everybody else is in school.
Especially if you're anywhere in the South and everybody's like in school and they've been in school since August 1st and you're like, what?
Yeah, well, the bad thing about that is, like all the pools have closed, everything.
And no camps.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've...
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
Oh, I'm sure.
But yeah, so other thing around town, college drop off, which that was a big part of since we last recorded. Successful, into one dorm, not a good experience. Thankfully, was able to change.
Yay! Yay, Hallie!
So I just got a single, and actually, maybe we'll have some pictures or something.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Well, I guess next podcast we'll put pictures of back to school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because then we'll all have pictures of back to school.
Yeah, true.
This one I actually recorded about 8 minutes of us exploring tide pools in Maine. So that'll be at the end after our sign-off. So if you want to see all the wildlife we found in Maine tide pools.
Nice.
Fun.
See, we do the exploring the tide pools. We go to Cape Cod, we go to Eastham, and we do exploring the tide pools, but I stay home because I don't like outdoors that much. And honestly, I get real bored at low tide, and Jonathan, my husband, and my kids will basically be like, look, there's a shell. Look, there's another shell. And I'm like, can we go home? I'm done. I'm like, there's sun. I'm hot. I'm not wearing enough sunscreen. And I haven't swapped myself in towels enough.
Oh, yeah.
I can't go swimming.
I love that one picture of you on vacation with your hat and your...
So you can go to my Instagram and you can see what my brother-in-law...
right here.
Yeah. It's a keeper.
It was a good one. But I knew immediately that it was you. It's like I was scrolling through. I'm like, oh, look at Jen.
Look at Jen. So I'm wearing an umbrella hat and I'm covered in towels. And this was actually because it was a little bit windy. We went to the Cape for 2 weeks, and then in the middle we went to Martha's Vineyard for 3 days with my in-laws, and stayed with my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law at her parents' house in Martha's Vineyard, which is gorgeous, and I hadn't been there since I was a kid.
I love that.
It's
so nice.
It is pretty.
So pretty, and it was nice and temperate. It was fantastic, and we went to the beach, and it was a little bit windy, but not like bad windy. But it was windy enough that I was like, ooh, I have a little bit of a chill / I can keep the sun off me and drape a towel all over myself. And then Adam, my brother-in-law, busted out the umbrella hats. And he's like, look what I have.
Everyone needs an umbrella.
He's like, I could set up the big umbrella, or I could just give you an umbrella hat. And I was like, fork that over. Meanwhile, the children went running down to go explore the tide pools at like the creek that fed into the beach. So I was like, they're good for like 4 hours, so I'm just going to sit.
Yeah, we were going out at like 5 o'clock at night or in the evening, so it wasn't as sunny. And I bring my blanket squares.
Nice.
Blanket knit along.
Well, that's
means
the thing.
you got a little...
Yep, nice little portable project.
I actually brought my Soldotna, this Soldotna with me when I was doing that, but it was too windy, and it was a lot of people. But we also went to an alpaca farm on Martha's Vineyard.
I've been there.
Fun.
Yes. I've got the yarn that's named after the alpacas.
Yes, and I got some of that, and I got some of the fiber, and I'm going to make hats for my nieces because they requested it, and I'm like, thank you. Nice. Yes, I will totally do
yes.
that.
I've talked to them. They don't wholesale.
No, they don't wholesale.
Yeah.
I guess they have enough business with the tourist traffic.
Well, or they just
they
like,
just have
they just have their
they make
alpacas.
what they make. Yeah, they don't.
And we saw the
really
baby alpaca.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
so cute. And Ollie was like, I want to take the baby alpaca home. And I'm like, you can't. It's an animal. And no. And he's like, I want to. And I'm like, oh, good Lord.
That's when you say, when you grow up, you can have a farm
That's
and
right.
have your alpaca.
That's right.
Absolutely.
They also went to another farm where they saw chickens, and it was like 150 chickens like come at you because they think they're you have food. I was not there that day because I wasn't feeling well that morning. But I saw the video of Ollie being like swarmed by 125 chickens, and he's just like, yes,
In his chicken
I
glory.
love you all so much. I'm like, dude, you're a farmer.
Well, the vision I have is Legend of Zelda. When, like, this is my nerdiness.
Is there a chicken scene?
Oh, well, if you
I should know.
swing
this.
your swords at the chickens long enough, they all attack you.
I love that.
Like tons of chicken attacks.
I'll see if I can send the picture that Jonathan took to Amanda to throw in, because it is hilarious. Where he's just like, yes, my people are coming to me. And I'm like, oh, he's bonkers. And he's starting kindergarten.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab my phone.
Grab your phone.
Because I have something I'm super excited for. And I'm going to look at my notes. Because guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It is Mystery Knit Along season!
That's right.
That's Amanda's favorite season.
It is my favorite season.
Also, pumpkin spice latte.
Oh my
Oh, there's
First
that.
hot one of the year.
I am like Moira Rose, where my favorite season is awards season. I love that show. I'm sorry. I'm such a nerd. So wait, so Mystery Knit Along?
Yes, Mr. Knit Alongs. Okay, so the two that I'm super excited about. Stephen West has his Starflake Mystery Knit Along
Oh,
starting
so exciting.
like October 8th or 1st or something like that. Beginning of October, right? So it needs 2 colors of fingering, one light, or contrasting colors, he says. Or you could do not contrasting colors and it would like be a different.
Be blendy.
Yeah. So I have some Tosh sock and light candy, which I love.
It's really
really
pretty.
pretty.
Yeah.
Which is like sort of a light beige with some light pinks and some
yellows.
and yellows,
little,
yeah, like
darker
neon
specks
yellows
and,
in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
So that one I have one skein at home. I'm gonna see if we have another skein.
But
But
that
that
will
will be
here.
that'll be.
I just
my-
moved it around the other day.
Yeah. So that'll be my light color, and then so that one I'm definitely doing. And then Rachy Newin has a mystery crochet along.
Sorry, Cheese
Nice.
Crochet Along.
Right.
Yes, hers is the color play mystery crochet along, and hers starts September. I want to say 18th.
Oh, so soon.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh.
So those two are coming out soon.
Are you gonna do both?
I don't know if I have time to do both. We'll see.
I mean, what's
Rachy's a
crochet
shawl?
and when's
It's
Rachy's in
shawl.
a shawl too. Yeah.
And I love her crochet shawl designs.
I do too. See,
like,
I am
they're
so
well
not the
done.
person for mystery things. Like as we've talked about before,
Yeah.
Jen and I are like not into the mystery.
I need to know what I can change.
Exactly.
I like the
need to know.
surprise. And like
but
Stephen
I
West
love
is
all
like-
of Rachy's things, so maybe I
would
will
trust
jump on
Rachy.
that one. I would too. There's
I would
nothing.
totally trust Rachy.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
there's more
All right.
description in that one. Stephen West is like, I'm not telling you the shape.
No, exactly.
I'm not telling you anything.
I saw some post about that yesterday on Instagram, and it's like, nope, you'll find out. Nope.
I know.
Just do it or
there's no
don't. You'll find
idea.
out.
Here are the colors you pick. Two.
Yeah. And then they have
cool.
other ones. I was like scrolling through, and like the front 5 pages of Hot Right Now patterns are so many mysteries.
So many mysteries. Yeah,
There's a lot of
I know,
mysteries
there's
in
so there's a
ones.
lot of like random photos.
Yeah.
There's not that many photos of
Yeah,
knitted or
of things.
crocheted objects because
Yeah.
they're mysteries. So.
Yep. There's the Spooky Park mitts for Halloween, which would be a shorter one.
Oh. Maybe I would do that.
Yeah, just mitts or
We obviously
the magic
feel peer
flower
pressure to get
of
into the
fern
mysteries. now.
socks.
Fern
There's
socks?
magic flower of fern socks.
Okay.
There's the Hometown Comfort by Crafty Flutterby, Boonit's Morningstar Shawl, and Amber Eye by Tetiana or Otruta. That's why I wrote all this down on my phone,
Right.
because
Because
otherwise
Amanda's
I
good
would
and
forget.
takes notes.
Yeah, but I love Mr. Knit-Alongs, and I can't believe it. There's like 6 or 7 starting.
Cool.
I know
So
you're
I'm
going to
gonna
have to
have to
pick.
choose.
How are you going to pick?
I don't know.
Draw out of a hat.
Well,
Well, it sounds like you're committed
Do
to
them
Stephen
all.
West.
I just
So,
finished
you
the
know.
Stephen West pattern, which we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
talk about.
I know which
When
we'll
we
talk
get to
about
finished objects.
soon.
Yeah, so I'm sort of on a kick.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Well, we can actually jump to finished objects. I mean, I think the clear one that all of us have done is Soldotna.
It's Soldotna Triplet Day.
Yes.
I would say we're twinning, but we're not. We're like tripleting.
We're tripleting.
Yeah.
We're tripleting. We're totally tripleting. This is my second Soldotna, and this one I did on vacation.
This is
It's
lovely.
really pretty.
So this is
It's
Soldotna.
really nice.
These are Soldotnas by Caitlin Hunter.
Hunter. They're cropped. I'm wearing mine on a dress. I'm just going to lean back, which is not flattering, but
I'm
whatever.
going to dump all my finished objects and whips on the floor. Yeah, mine is like cropped-ish.
And I didn't go for the crop. I did a little longer.
Nice.
You did longer.
And I did not do the fleece stitch on the body because I used a Mad Tosh.
I love it with the
speckle. So,
yeah.
But I love the way it picks up the gold. It's
so pretty.
It's really fun.
And this one is mine over the same dress that I wore the last Soldotna over. And I did
looks
it
great. It looks
cropped,
equally
but
wonderful.
a little bit longer than my last one because I realized actually mine's in cotton cashmere, Rowan cotton cashmere, and which is like 85 cotton, 15 cashmere, something
Or
like that.
80-20.
Or 80-20, something like that. And I realized that it wasn't going to swing the way that wool did.
Mm-hmm.
And this is unblocked because I was binding off in the restaurant in Martha's Vineyard because it was cold. And I was like doing the stone bind off on the sleeve, and my father-in-law was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Cold." I'm like, "Here, look, I'm gonna pull it over."
Yeah.
Mine
like,
is unblocked.
Mine is blocked.
Mine is unblocked as well.
I know.
I redid my neck last night.
Ooh,
so it's nice.
Because I should pull out my my old neck.
pull out your old neck.
Show you.
So let's start.
I
Kathleen, give the details on yours and show us your neck.
All right. So I used 3 colors of Scout. I used the charcoal, the white natural, and sunflower, which is the gold,
Love that.
and then Mad Tosh matcha rather for the body.
Like the tea.
Yes. Yeah. And I think I did the 5th size, and I did adjust the neck a little bit so that it wouldn't be quite so high, because I do feel like the sizing on this, in the really small sizes, the neck seems like it fits and sits pretty well, but I don't think
the
it's
larger
braided
size, it
perfectly.
comes up a little bit.
Comes up too high.
Yeah.
So once I was completely done, and also I don't like something really close to my neck. I like things a little bit further down. And I did add some extra stitches. You know, I didn't work my size ribbing for the neckline. I worked the next one up, but it still wasn't enough. So when I was completely finished, I ran a needle through where I wanted the body to end, and I snipped the yarn. I pulled back. This is my old neck. And then I just did an I-cord bind off last night.
I love the
I'm really
I-cord
happy
bind
with it.
off.
I like it a lot.
It looks really nice.
It looks really nice. It's a very nice, clean finish.
Yeah.
I think it goes with like the horizontal lines.
Exactly. There are so many circles in it. It just kind of echoes that. So
and it sits really nicely where you did it.
Yeah.
So is it right above the color work?
It is right above the. It's basically there's like
2 rows.
Three rows above the color work. I left 3 rows, which I basically took out all the short rows.
Yeah.
Which was not my plan, but I wanted it to be. I didn't want to do this again. I didn't want to do second surgery, so I just went all the way back, and it's fine. It's comfortable. I think I will make another one.
Yeah.
And also inspired by the Crafty Hong sisters and DJW, I have to make one of these for Anna. Yes! I really do, and I have enough yarn left. Anna is my dog, but because she is about this color, I think I'm going to switch my black and my white. So that we're like
contrast.
Exactly, we'll be like mirror twinsies.
Yeah, if you want to see adorable pictures of dogs in sweaters, you have to check out Crafty Hong Sisters Instagram feed. They're so adorable.
Cute. And call me DJW as well.
Oh
yes. She is an amazing sweater knitter and does lots of things for her pups.
Matching.
Yes,
matching twinsies.
So
because you need twinsies.
So that's gonna be cast on probably later today, maybe tomorrow.
Oh, nice. That's gonna go so quickly too. Because I mean,
I haven't ever made her a sweater before, so I have to take lots of measurements, which that is gonna be interesting.
that will take the longest. Is like getting Anna to like sit still and not
for measurements.
Yeah. We do have dog sweater patterns. King Cole has a DK weight dog sweater pattern.
That
in our book.
I may have to get one of those and use that as my starting point.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That's not a bad idea.
So, okay.
That's awesome.
We're going to talk about mine?
Yes, please. Let's talk about yours.
Yeah. Okay, so mine, I think I said it was a whip at our last one, so I won't be as, talk as much about it. But I used Rowan felted tweed, so all my colors are Rowan felted tweed.
Yep.
I used a tubular cast on at the neck.
That's really nice.
And I cast on 110 stitches, which was like the large size. and then didn't do the first round of increases. All the notes are in my Ravelry. Amanda Turcott, all one word. And including who I copied the neck mods for, and she has charts for her neck mods, which is it was really nice. But I realized when I got to here, the sleeve divide, right under the colorwork, that I had the stitch count for an extra small, which is a little tight for me. So I, instead of casting on 1 stitch under the arms, I did 9 under each arm, which was fine. And it gave me just enough, like essentially another 2 inches of ease.
Yeah, it brings the body into where you were going to be.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think it looks really great.
Yeah,
and then
it's really nice.
I did the fleas on mine, or whatever.
The sleeves look really cute because they're in the pink and the green, so it's very
really
subtle.
pretty.
It's like a little, it's really cute.
But,
Well,
and Jen and I were talking this morning on the way out of Starbucks, because as we do.
Ran into each other.
Yeah. And my kids were at Starbucks too. All 3 of us were there and had ordered independently. But so mine has like a little bit slightly negative ease or 0 ease at the bust, and then quite a bit of positive ease here at the waist. My preference maybe would be to come in a little bit at the waist and have like a little bit, like 2 inches in. Yeah. There. And Jen's like, no, I like it, but she likes it.
I like
that
it
way.
like that because I feel like there's a couple of different kinds of crop sweaters. There's like your fitted crop sweater, which is I think what you're used to.
That's my style.
That's your style. And this is a looser
more
crop
swingy
sweater that's more
Yeah.
swingy, so you wear it over something, so you have that kind of like rectangular line, and then the body line is smaller, or like a flared dress where it gives you like
Yeah.
mine.
It goes
It
straight
gives
and
more
then
of
comes
a.
out.
I like
It
the,
gives more of a waist because you can see there's a little bit of space, like right where my hand is here, because I
it's
don't
like
actually
right at your
have
natural
a waist.
waist. Yeah, no.
I have a rectangle.
If I do this again, I know you said this, what you didn't cast on as many on the underarm. I went ahead and did it this time because when I tried it on, it fit comfortably, but there is definitely more fullness than I would, Again, if I do it again, I'll do it a little bit differently, but it's fine. It's a looser fit. And
it all depends on what
okay.
I think your preference is and what your expectation is. So if you're used to a crop sweater that's fitted, this is going to be different. And the same thing with that, where I knew that I don't like sleeves that are too big, especially if they're short, because my arms are big enough as it is, and like I actually like a cap sleeve that hits right here, even though technically
it looks really cute.
Technically, you're not supposed to, because
I like it.
Whatever, I don't care.
I think it looks cute.
I think it looks cute too. I think too long it looks dowdy, and too high it just looks weird.
I think that is a nice sleeve length on you. It looks good.
Yeah, thank you. And then I knew that I actually wanted the fit that you have too, which I think I'm close to.
I think this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
fitted through here is very flattering, and then coming out a little bit, so any kind of bumps and lumps or just go whoop, here's the sweater. Which is my preference. I like things to go whoop.
Drapey.
Yes, exactly. I like drapey. My days of fitted are, I'm like, whatever. It's not my thing. So I think it looks really cute. And I did.
Do you remember how many you did in the underarm? Do you remember how many you cast on?
So in this one, because I did do the flea stitch, I cast on 5 on each, so I would have a body number divisible by 4 instead of the 19 I was supposed to cast on, which ain't ever gonna happen. Like that's, I mean,
I think I went down to like 15 or something. I mean, I figured out what the, I went down a little bit, but I definitely could have gone down a lot more.
My first one, I did 6 on each, and actually at first, I went down to like 12 on each, and I was like, that's still way too much. And then I ripped that out, and then went back to, because I still had my body sleeves. I'd run a lifeline because I wasn't sure about that. And so I ripped it back out to that, and then I cast on 6 each, and I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
Because the way that top-down sweaters work, you want 1 to 2 inches for your underarm. You don't need 8 inches unless you're trying to make an A-line.
A swing,
right.
Something
A
that's
swing,
real.
and it's like, it's a very standard way that patterns are graded, and I don't love it for larger sizes. But I know that, so I know how to...
You know how to adjust
it, but not everybody does. So if you end up with a sweater that doesn't
also,
fit well...
when you are adjusting, it still can be trial and error. It's not necessarily going to be exactly
Are you happier
what you
with
want
this
the
one
first
than you are
time
with your
out.
first one?
I think I am, although, you know, because this is cotton and cashmere. The cotton drape's a little bit different than the wool, so I haven't fully blocked it because I literally did bind off in a restaurant and, like, put it on because it was chilly. So I was like, my blocking was me going, like, get, shove, get. People are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm blocking it while I'm going to get ice cream across the street. So I am happier with this one. I didn't, the last one I did a provisional cast on right above the color work.
Oh, right.
And I cast on more stitches. I cast on the number of stitches for the color work, skipping the first decrease.
Or after the first
after the first increase.
So similar to what I did. But
Very similar.
I had instructions.
You had instructions. I kind of had instructions, but I wasn't sure about how the top was going to go, and I wasn't sure about the short rows. I ended up doing the short rows on this one.
Oh, yeah.
It looks nice. Yeah.
Because I like my neck to come up a little higher in the back. But I am happier with this one. So I did German twisted cast on for the neck. I was going to do tubular, but I didn't.
I was on an airplane
Whatever.
casting this on. I had plenty of time.
Yeah, you had plenty of time. And I was just like, let's see how fast I can do this. And then I followed the modifications I made for the first one, but without the provisional cast on. So I knew the number I was casting on.
Yeah, once you've done it, you knew what you were going for.
Yeah, I knew where my short rows were going to go because that was the main kind of futzing that I had done on the first one. It was because my size, it was before she had graded it up a little bit. So I didn't have a larger size that had the stitch count that I needed for the color work to identify where the short rows were. So I figured it out myself. A third, and these were the points right here where the short rows went to. And then I worked down from there and it worked fine.
Cool.
So it was good.
Yeah.
And then I ended up doing a back stitch sewn bind off on the hem because I feel like that's pretty close to what matches a German twisted cast on or cast on bind off.
That looks nice.
Words starting ending.
What I did.
But I'm pretty pleased with it.
I just cast off. I did it in the car.
Yeah. And I did it I made it like about an inch or so longer. Once I realized like the cotton's going to drape a little bit, but I figured like that way I also have a difference between two sweaters.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to see
nice.
the same.
I like
Thank
it.
you. I'm pretty happy with it. It's very comfortable to wear because it's cotton. Color work and
You're not
cotton can be a little
melting
tricky. I'm not dying. I am not sweating
Yay.
buckets like I was last time.
It's great.
Yay.
Yeah.
So
Put it in the right
we are going to have, or we are having, a Soldotna knit along for Rhinebeck, and we're going to have a meetup on the Saturday of Rhinebeck at 2 p.m. in front of the Maple Sugar House. Wear your Soldotna.
Eat your maple sugar cotton.
I'm gonna eat some maple sugar cotton candy, and we'll take a picture. And it'll be super fun, and we have prizes, and there is a thread on Ravelry, chatter thread, and there'll be a finished object thread.
We should put up that finished object thread. I'll do that before Friday.
Yes, we'll put up the finished object thread.
We've got some finished objects,
Some of us are done.
obviously.
Yep.
Not that we're eligible for the prizes.
No, we are not eligible, but all of you are.
Y'all are eligible for the prizes, and you just have to.
We were just talking about prizes, and I think.
I know.
I think
we have some
ideas
ideas
for prizes.
We have some good ideas. And you can win a prize whether you go to Rhinebeck or not.
Absolutely.
So it's just
So you know what we should do? We
at
should definitely have at least one be for somebody who went to Rhinebeck.
Totally.
That's what we should do. Like who is able to go.
We'll do a prize for someone who was at Rhinebeck, and we'll do a prize for someone who wasn't able to make it and had to attend virtually.
Exactly.
And all those virtual Soldotnas, or real Soldotnas that we're sharing virtually, will be at the end of our podcast.
Yeah.
Not today.
Not today.
Once we do. After Rhinebeck.
The what's the due date? 10/20.
Yes.
Which is the Sunday of Rhinebeck, is going to be when you need to post your finished objects by in order to be eligible for prizes.
Or mostly finished object.
Or mostly finished object.
Well, I mean, so like when I was doing my comfort fade cardi, I still had strings hanging out that I hadn't sewn in.
Yeah, you don't have to weave in.
I had like a bind off that wasn't quite done yet.
It doesn't need to be blocked.
Starbucks today, I have things hanging over here. Yeah, I wove some ends, but
oh yeah. When I did this in the
it's good
restaurant,
enough to-
I wove in most of the ends except for I forgot one at the underarm where I joined it, and then at least one of my family members is like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Pay no attention."
Yeah.
Shove that.
So if it's not finished, you have to wear it.
Yeah, it has to be a wearable.
There you go. That's fair. And we're saying people have to buy at least one skein here, right? To participate in.
We said you'd have an extra entry.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Extra entry.
All right. Cool. So yeah, anyone who does it, you can send us your picture, show up in person, and if at least some of your yarn was bought at Yarnia, you get an extra entry.
Yes.
Excellent.
This is going to be some bookkeeping for me.
This is going to be some bookkeeping.
I can handle it.
For Amanda. Okay. But it'll be good.
We'll pass it down.
No worries. Got it.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Rhinebeck, Soldotna, knit along.
Yay!
Don't forget, join the fun. And actually, can I give one more tip?
Sure. Yeah.
Because
totally.
I was working on this in the car, driving up to Montreal and back, I guess. And one thing I did when I got to the part where I was, I had finished all the color work, I went ahead and did my sleeves right then.
Yeah.
And it was actually even more fun then, because when I finished the body, I could actually put it on. I know they say to hold the sleeves and do them at the end. But I had also put them on 16-inch like accords. Like I like to do that. I am not a big fan of waist yarn for holding stitches. I don't know. I've had some bad experiences. Not that
I like the waist yarn. But you know what? I like the waist yarn because then I can leave it in and it's a built-in lifeline. And then when I inevitably screw something up or decide to change it or modify it in some way, I'm like, I don't have to pick up any stitches because I'm not going to rip this.
Well, the one thing I liked about using the cords was that I was still able to try it on. I mean, I held I just used a short one, so it basically was, about the same size. And then, I just put the needle tips on and worked away.
Boom.
And it was so easy. It was
that
really
is a good
quick and done. Yeah. And also, I had them on stitch holders originally because I didn't have enough cords with me when I got to the point of setting them aside. And I was so much happier when I was able to put them on the cords because it's flexible and it's just out of your way.
Yeah, it's just out of your way, and you can try.
It's just another approach. I mean,
it's totally. That's a good idea.
It is. I like the idea of doing the ribbing first and then.
Yeah, it was so fun.
And then
I finished that at one point, and also when I tried it on, I was like, it looks so done. It looks so finished.
Like,
it was like,
so
I got little sleeves.
You can wear a super crop top when you're like, I've just finished the color work and I have sleeves. Yay!
All right.
But you have more finished objects too,
I do.
Right?
Yes, I do.
So let's talk.
I have a big one.
Just gotta dig it on the floor.
Yeah, I showed this last time in June, I think.
Yeah, it was a while
ago. Yeah.
So this is my Stephen West Marled Fade Triangle.
Marled Fade Triangle.
Made out of bala hoya. So 5 skeins. This is the colors of the month.
Ooh, I love the edging. That's so pretty.
Ta-da!
All right, let's go forward a little. Coordination. I'm back.
Oh, I'm not even going to bother taking a picture of this because I think you just saw it as big as the screen would be anyway.
Right. Oh my gosh, I love the edging.
So this is 5 colors of the month from Ba, and their La Jolla base, the fingering base. So this is February 2018. This green is March 2018. Then there's a blue with a little bit of magenta speckle here. That's April. May starts having this pink.
It's the cotton candy sort of effect, right? The pink
and
blue. Yeah.
And then, oops, this is the back actually. It's virtually reversible, but you can see where this is.
You can see where the change is.
Yeah. Where you changed. And then the bright is the June 2018. So, I mean, we had people come in and look at the Bal Hoya color of the month, I think, and they're like, oh, I like this color, oh, I like this color, but they really do transition nicely from month to month.
They really do.
And we often don't have any left over from a particular month. So if there's one you like, it's worth taking a look at what the month that came before, the month that came after, and then,
because they're designed to coordinate.
They're designed,
like they dye them specifically to do something like this. And this was 2 held together?
That's why I love this vein.
It's so nice and heavy. It's like heavy without being too
heavy and drapey.
This is my new airplane schlanket, right? If I need a shawl, I have a shawl. If I need a blanket, I have a blanket. I was literally had it over my legs on the couch, and it's super warm. But yeah, so I had these 5 skeins. I wasn't really into doing a find your fade, right? Which is on I think a 4.
Yeah.
And takes an eternity in fingering weight to do 5 skeins in a 4. I mean, it's a beautiful shawl. You did the find your fade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liked it. It was fun.
It's another good blanket, kind of.
Oh, totally.
It is.
And then I did the what the fade, which was also fingering weight.
I love that
on
one. That's so
on a
fun.
3 or a 4, but it has brioche beginning and others at the end. So, and both of those are in the store as samples if you want to come see them. They're lovely, but I really wasn't into doing a long one. This is Marled, so that means you hold two colors of the fingering, or sometimes, like at the beginning, this is one color held 2 strands.
Yeah,
so from the inside and
double, basically.
Yeah, from the inside and outside. So I could knit it on an 8. And that means it went a lot faster.
That's a lot quicker when you do that.
Yes, it's essentially like knitting a DK weight shawl.
Yeah.
Instead of a fingering weight shawl. So this is the lazy person schlinket.
Well, and I think you get like
fun.
a really nice drape when you hold 2 yarns together, and you get a little bit more warmth because it traps a little bit more
totally.
hair.
And it's just a different way to fade because
it's just lovely.
Instead of if you've done one of the find your fade or free your fade or
comfort fade,
so faded comfort fade cardi, they stripe. They use
they
often
basically
use stripes, alternating colors. This one, you drop one strand and pick the other one up, like
So this
to marl from one to the other.
AA, AB, BB,
BC,
CC. And so it's a really blendy fade. And is this brioche at the end?
It is brioche at
with
the end.
With an I-cord
yes.
bind off?
And
I love it. It's so squishy.
And you can see like my I-cord is faded too.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
really?
Look at that.
So what I actually did was pretty much I knit to the end of the skein. Like I didn't count rows that much, right? Like when I was knitting, I'd put in A and B together, and then I'd just knit until I was like, that looks like enough. Yeah, and then I did B and B, and then when I had like a third of a skein left, I'd switch to B and C, and just did that sort of like all the way down. So I ended up, and then, with the last one, when I had about what I thought was plenty to do the edging and the last row, I started the last row. Brioche takes a lot, and there's
a lot of
yarn. A lot of yarn.
An I-cord bind off takes yarn.
A lot of yarn, and I ended up with like a lot less than I needed to do an I-cord bind off. So I had like mini balls of each color, and I just split them in half.
Oh, cool.
So I started at one end, and I just worked I-cord and just like marled it in as I ran out of color. Because I had plenty of this first color, because the very center of a triangle shawl doesn't use nearly as much.
Right.
Yeah. And your visual
color.
impact, you use, like, you still have the same, like, 6 inches and 6 inches and 6 inches. It just, that takes so much less.
There's a lot less surface area. So I have probably a third of a skein left over of this. So I knew whatever I needed in the middle.
Basically,
that's fine. But I have zero left over of any other color because I literally like.
But I love the edging with it.
It's so
like
fun.
The contrast and the color change, and like there, it's a little bit more red.
But I intended to go green all the way back to pink. Like I started at this end, but I ran out like here, and I was like,
well, back to green again. But it looks really nice, and like honestly, when you wear it, you're never going. Nobody is going to be like, well, she should have gone back to pink.
Yeah, no,
and if they do, you can just tell them to go. So that's your heart.
I'll show you what it looks like on. I really, really like it. It's very cozy. I've been wearing this all the time.
I got it. Oh well.
So I've been wearing it like this, and we're going to show these in Newin store, but I love this shawl, what do you call these?
Shawl cuff. A shawl cuff from Jewel Closures.
Oh my goodness, this is brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Such a great way to style something because...
Style it and practical.
Yes.
Right, it's not going to fall off.
You get it there.
It's not going to untie.
Holds on, right?
And you can take it off and put it on without having to restyle it. Once you've gotten it
where you want it,
it's staying where it is.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I love it.
Very
and
nice.
I love that. I love it. It looks so cool.
It's
looks
perfect.
So cool.
I love it. Love it. So this is great if you have, or if you pick up a skein at a trunk show, right? Or you've got
leftovers.
Or you've got like, you've got fingering weight yarn where you've got one skein because you love the color and you're like, what am I going to do with this?
What am I doing? Yeah.
Right?
We
Finding a few more skeins, bring it in.
Right.
Come
check out.
I'd love to help you pick colors.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things to do.
And we do make sure to get some more, because I think this, like I said, this I used, sequential colors of Ba. A lot of times it looks really nice to have an almost neutral, a speckled neutral,
and something in there
a
to
faded
kind of
something,
highlight all the other colors,
which isn't necessarily the ones you grab at a trunk show, right?
You grab like the pretty, you're like, ooh, pretty color, and then finding other things to go with it can be tricky.
Yeah.
But like when you bring stuff in, or if you bring in, like if you're a sock knitter and you have a bunch of like mini balls and you want something to like kind of coordinate the whole way through.
Yes.
That's a great way to do it too, because then you could do multiple colors.
Oh yeah, you could marl this with a single color.
One color in the background.
Yeah.
Thing. That would be nice. Yeah.
That would be really nice.
So cool.
Yeah.
It's such a great way to play with the colors.
Yeah, with like a gray speckle or a ecru speckle.
Or even, like
We're
one of the
looking behind us.
Nanosalagria, just the solids. If you have one color, like I tend to gravitate towards oranges, golds, olives.
Yeah.
Stacia and I were just talking about that the other day. We have a new employee in the store. And
Hey, Stacia.
And we have, like, our palette is the same, basically. We love the same colors, so. But, if you have that, then you pick something that goes with whatever your color is.
Yeah.
And it can be,
and that would be a super nice fadey.
That would be really fun.
Oh,
I'm
totally,
still thinking about doing something like that with the shift.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
With the shift.
Yeah.
That would be really cool with the shift. And Amanda, that's Amanda's finished object.
That is my finished object.
I have this finished object, and Kathleen has another finished object as well.
I do, and my finished object is already in Montreal.
So I'm going to put a picture of it here.
Yeah, here it is. Amanda will have a better picture. And it was the Alpine cable sweater made out of Franca. I had it as a whip in one of our last couple of podcasts. And I did finish it in time to send to Montreal with it for school. So once it gets cold enough to wear it, she'll have something super
That is going to
cozy.
be sooner than
I was going to say, that's a month.
Yeah,
Not even.
Do you know, it's funny, when we came home, they were like 5 degrees cooler than us. It's been only like a week. It's already 10 degrees cooler up there. Pretty much the high is 10 degrees less than our high every day.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
And that's going to continue.
That's going to keep going. She's going to really like that sweater in Franca.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how many skeins of Franca did that take?
I think it was either 5 or 6. I have to look, and I think I updated my pattern notes, or my project notes on Ravelry.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so that might be something like because we often don't have 5 or 6 or 6
right, if somebody,
of the same
color. They come in
and
5s.
It's
so
like an extra small.
She's
small
tiny,
girl.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for me, it might be 6 or 7.
Do you know what? And actually, though, I bet I just went into the 6th skein because I told her that I have enough to make a hat. I'm going to make a hat.
Okay,
We're gonna pick a Toft pom pom, and I'll bring that up when I go in a couple weeks.
That would be cute.
Yeah. But that's a good thing to know, that if you're ever in the store and you see a yarn that you like and you want to make a sweater, but we don't have a sweater's quantity, ask us.
Yeah, many things we can order. I mean,
we can order a lot of stuff.
Almost everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some of it depending on the company, it could ship quickly, or if it's a hand dye, it'll take a while. Just
well, and
setting
also,
expectations.
Yeah, but every company is different, and some things, you might think like, oh man, this is hand dyed. It's going to take forever. It's coming.
They have a lot of stuff.
They have a lot. Yeah,
they really do. And
Mrs.
every
Crosby
now and then,
keeps everything.
That's
in stock,
right.
Yeah,
which is
mm-hmm.
fantastic and amazing, and I have no idea how she does it.
Ba too.
Thank you. And
yeah, they ship really quickly when we place
So
them.
there's
just
everything.
different strategies by different dyers, and ask.
Mm-hmm.
Ask
never,
us. It can't hurt to ask.
You never know.
Yep.
And especially because I'm on the larger end of the size spectrum, is that finding a sweater quantity for me, sometimes if it's like Rowan where it's smaller balls and it's like I need a bag and then some, ordering is the best way to do it to ensure everything is in the same dye lot. As opposed to kind of hunting and pecking on the shelves and trying to find out what's going on. But yeah.
Same here. Yeah.
So don't be afraid to ask us.
That's right.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Yep.
All right, so let's go to On the Needles.
Yes.
And Kathleen, what are you working on?
I am working on
not this
Amanda's. Nope, that's yours.
Amanda's.
I am primarily working at this point on the Savage Heart cardigan.
Ooh.
So, and that is by Amy Christoffers. This I think I showed. We had this at knit night the other night.
We were like, here's a strange looking piece that yes will be a cardigan.
And it's a sleeve and part of.
It totally looks like
a uterus and fallopian tubes.
It does.
It was so funny.
It does. It's 100% like
I showed
knitted
it
uterus
at
and
night the other day.
fallopian tubes.
I think
and wear it on your
people were
sleeve.
practically on the floor. It was as soon as I held it up, I'm like, what does this remind anyone of? So what I did with this was I worked one ball. I'm doing this in the Diamond Superwash. This is going to be like my kind of everyday go-to. Just throw it on if you're a little chilly sweater. In gray, my other color besides all the oranges and golds and everything.
I love that gray though.
So this one I am almost done with the second ball of yarn. So you basically start at the cuff, you work the sleeve to the underarm, and then you increase for the length for the front and back.
So this will end up being front. One fallopian tube is the front, and one fallopian tube is the back. And your uterus is on your sleeve.
And for my size, I'm doing...
Mama's like, I can't beep out any of this.
Well, I don't think
I don't really need to, yeah. So, but the fun thing was when I was showing this at night on last Wednesday, there are now 2 more people doing the sweater.
Love it.
So, yeah.
Good.
So Karen B was looking for something to do with her gray cumulus that she got a while
This
back.
would be perfect.
It's, yeah. So, and one thing, I am going to do this, it is supposed to be a reverse stockinette sweater, but I've done other reverse stockinette sweaters.
like
I'm
the
not the
stockinette.
biggest fan of it. So I'm just doing it as stockinette, and really,
Of
you don't
course,
need to change anything. All you need to do is change the way you join it.
Yeah, it's
And
just when you seam it.
It was so sweet because Lisa, one of our Lisas, Lisa M,
We have a couple.
was also decided she was going to make it that night, and she said, I think I'm going to do the stockinette too, and she was agonizing over it that night, and came in the morning. She's like, so what kind of mods do I need to do? I said, oh, don't worry, I've already done that suffering for you. I tried actually, playing with the sleeve and doing it differently so that it really set off the ribbing on this side.
There's a little ribbing detail that you can
At
see
the end
very
of the day,
clearly.
I'll take a picture.
At the end of the day, the best thing to do is just work it. I actually like the way the increases look better on the stockinette side.
I think it
really
looks
do.
great.
It's pretty.
So
It makes
anyway,
a really nice decorative line.
yeah, there are only 80 of these on Ravelry. I'm so surprised.
Really?
This is based on the cockleshell cardigan, which when that came out in Mason Dixon, I think everybody went crazy for, and I was not the only person to say I want that sweater for me.
I want it in a grown-up
And
size.
I was so glad that Amy Christoffers did actually do the pattern, and I didn't need to do all that math.
Yeah.
Because it would have been
a lot of
math. Exactly. But yeah, I'm loving this. It is a lot of, right now it's just a lot of stockinette. It's great TV knitting. I've been watching the US Open a bit and just going with that. So yeah, I'm just going to go back and forth to kind of not wind up with second sleeve syndrome.
So this is one that you really could do, one for you, one for your
You could
kid.
do twinsies.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
One for your
Totally.
daughter?
The cockleshell is really baby size, so it's teeny tiny. I don't think it
One for
goes
baby.
up. Yeah, I don't think it goes up more than like a size 2, perhaps 2 toddler.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun, and I'm glad other people are doing it. So this may wind up being our Sunday Rhinebeck sweater. We'll see if Karen finishes hers for Sunday, because
So what else do we have for on the needles? Amanda, what do you have?
Well, I'll show you. So, I have 3 things. I'm going to try to go quickly. So first, we went to see, I think I said on the last podcast, or maybe I said we were going to see Queen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
One or the other.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have a project. All my projects whips at that point were like this.
Big.
Not really portable for bringing to a concert.
Oops.
Not a good concert travel.
No. Working on like the brioche part of a 5 skein project, it's a little much to take on the train to a Queen concert.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, I got to start something new. And I had 1 skein of moonshine at home that I had meant to start this project, and so I did on the train. And then took it to the concert, and I did not knit during the concert because it was so awesome.
Was it Adam Lambert singing?
Yes.
I love him.
I bet that was great.
Oh my gosh. It was like one of the best concerts I've ever been to. So this is moonshine, and I forget the color.
RNG.
I'm not sure.
Right.
And they have, they're mainly
It's pumpkin
color
spice
numbers.
color.
It is. Yeah, it's very pumpkin spice.
And I started Joji Locatelli's Hipster Cowl, which the Hipster Shawl has been around for about a year.
Mm-hmm. Vivian made that. I love it.
Yeah,
it's
it's really
it.
nice.
It's really
And I started the Hipster Shawl.
Ooh.
Cowl.
Mm-hmm.
So it's same stitch pattern as the shawl, but in cowl form. It calls for 5 skeins of worsted, which this is exactly 1 skein.
That's a lot.
Yeah, if I did this 5 times as long, that would be like
I guess you
huge.
could double wrap.
Yeah, I guess it's a
meant
big
to be.
double
Double
Yeah.
wrap. Yeah.
I think single wrap would be
So, I think I'm going to essentially do 2.5 skeins, and then use the last half skein because there's little fringes on the side. So I'm going to use
cute.
the last half skein for fringe. The way that this is constructed, you cast on provisionally. You're supposed to do it with a crochet cast on, so it's easy to take out. I didn't read my instructions till I was on the train.
Didn't have a crochet hook.
No. So
Crochet hook.
I'm just going to have to pick out 50 stitches.
Well, if
Whatever.
you know how to do it, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not a big deal.
No, it'll take less than 10 minutes, so whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, essentially you knit however much you're going to knit, and then you Kitchener it together at the end.
Seamless.
But yeah, and I love this. This would be a great project for your intermediate class. Because there is like a little chart reading. There's some texture in here just with like some knits and purls.
Yeah.
Right? So a little bit of chart reading. And then this cross stitches pattern, which is almost like a mini cable. But without, so you get a sort of a technique of how to do cables.
Yeah.
But like with the impossibility of dropping a stitch. 'Cause
Right.
they're real. It's a really good technique.
Yeah.
I will say, this first row of cross stitches I hated, and I was like, I'm gonna hate doing this pattern.
I'm surprised that it starts right with it. I would have thought it would start in the garter section.
Yeah.
It would be a little easier. But
I think probably because of where you need to Kitchener in the garter section.
Oh yeah, maybe so.
But I mean, you could Kitchener in the middle of the garter section.
Yeah.
Anyway, my problem was, and so I fixed it at the second cross stitch. You have to. This is like you wrap stitches and then knit and then drop your. This is like a drop stitch pattern. You have to wrap very loosely those stitches.
Yeah. So that you
Or-
have enough length in them.
Well, no, or you can't shove it back on your needle, all these wrap stitches.
Right. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I was like fighting with it to get like to shove these wrap, because it's like if you wrap stitches, they tend to be tighter than your normal knit stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to do it really loosely.
You have to, so I usually, when I'm knitting, I wrap the yarn twice around my wrist, right?
Yeah.
When I'm knitting like this. When I'm wrapping these, I don't even, I do barely once.
That's like how I knit normal.
Yeah.
I don't
Me too.
tension
And
at
that's
all.
why your
I
gauge
knit
is looser
loosely.
than mine.
Yeah. It's true because I don't tension the yarn.
Yeah, I usually knit like that. But anyway, so FYI, love this pattern. If you start it, just do your reps loosely, and you won't be mad at it.
It's when every drop stitch pattern that I've done, I've never had the problem of wrap. Probably because I'm like, woo!
Yeah,
And then flying off.
yeah. But I like this a lot. So this will
I love
be, I don't know. I'm not really a cowl person. I don't know. It could be a shop sample. It could be somebody's holiday present.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
It's pretty.
But I like it.
Nice.
I don't know. It was fun. I like the stitch pattern. I thought
It's
other
pretty.
people would like it too.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
I love it.
Cool.
What else you got?
All right.
This would actually be really cute with some jewel buttons.
Ooh, it would be cute with jewel buttons.
Right? Anyway,
I was gonna say, like, there's a basket over there that we're gonna
we're going to
like
show you that
So
later.
a minute.
throw 'em on.
Okay. All right, and then I have a couple of other things that I'm going to do quickly. But speaking of mother-daughter progeny
Twinsy.
whole patterns, so Rhythm Knits was here for a trunk show. We've got a couple trunk shows coming up this fall, so
Yay.
you can keep this. When we have trunk shows, it's a great opportunity to get really cool yarn that we're not usually able to have in the store. So Rhythm Knits came in March, I want to say. Or very last of
March,
February.
April.
March or April?
April,
I
right?
feel like it was
April.
April.
It was March. It was.
I remember.
It was
Spring.
right the weekend
She came
before.
in spring.
Wool Walk.
Wool Walk.
Oh,
I remember I
Yeah.
went to Hoboken that day, and it was like we ate outside. It was so warm.
Yes.
It was really nice
Yeah.
that day.
great weather.
So Abby,
Oh.
my 7-year-old, came to
She's such a good helper.
help that day, and she was a good helper.
She's
was
always a good helper.
She really
Well,
is.
sometimes
She's
she gets bored with it and she just wants to do crafts, but other times she's
But
a good
when she has a job, she's really
Yeah.
good. She's
That's
really
fine.
yeah.
So for helping out, she got some yarn, and she picked out this color, which is
It's so
called
fun.
Unicorn, and I'll take a close-up picture of it.
Um,
But it's basically a lavender, and then it has hot pink and yellow and turquoise and a little navy in it, and it's really, really cute.
So,
So
cute.
fun. So fun.
So I had 3 skeins in stash, just waiting for, like, maybe, I told her I'd make her a sweater. but I hadn't. But then I was flipping through Ravelry, and I don't know what I was looking at. I don't think it's not trending right now because it was a 2012 pattern. But this is the Kiddy Vertebrae by Kelly van Niekerk.
I didn't write it down.
I did. Yes, Niekerk. N-I-E. I'll put it there. But yeah, so this is the Kiddy Vertebrae. Now the newborn vertebrae is a really popular newborn baby pattern. It's free on Ravelry. DK weight. That's one of those like baby was born. Oops, I need a baby sweater.
Right.
And it's like that, right? And the reason they call it
pretty.
vertebrae is because it just like it goes over your back. It's not. It's open in the front and it just like is a little snuggle for their back.
Like a shrug.
Yeah. And it stays out of the way. But she also made, so the newborn is the free pattern on Ravelry. There's also the baby vertebrae. This is the kitty, and then there's a mama. So you can make whatever size works. This is the kitty. This is the largest size of the Kiddy Vertebrae. And I love it because it is open on the front. Like, you don't do as many increases on the front side of the raglans as you do for the sleeves and for the back, right? So it just
kind of
it's like a little shrug.
Yeah, it's a shrug, but it has like 3/4 sleeves, so it definitely keeps arms and back warm.
It's perfect for like the transitional spring, transitional fall.
Also show off a really pretty dress too. Sometimes when you have one of those little sweaters, it's like it
you're
can
covering
really
the
too
detail.
much cover up of what you're wearing under it.
Haley's such a pleasant, nice, precious child. I think when it's like it doesn't come as much in the front, you can't drop your food on it or get your art supplies all over the front of your sweater that mom knitted for you.
There's that too.
So you can tell the difference between the personalities of our children by our motivations in choosing sweaters for them. So anyway, that's what I love about this pattern, is that it is sort of like all the ketchup and the mustard doesn't go on the front of your sweater.
It hits your dress.
Yeah, which already has ketchup and mustard stains on it from the last time.
Hi.
So that's the Kiddy Vertebrae, and I love it.
That's really sweet. I can't wait to see that.
That's gonna be adorable.
And I might actually make one for my older kids too, in the mama size, which is adult size. Yeah, and then I'm gonna really quickly show you one other thing. So we're talking. Rhinebeck is coming up.
Rhinebeck.
It'll be here before you know it.
Yes.
It will. There's already that little chill in the air.
I know.
Hey.
I wish there were a little bit more of that chill in the air.
It's coming. It's coming.
I know. It'll get there and it'll be fine.
Oh yeah. So I've been knitting so many sweaters with yarn from Yarnia, shop samples, and my own stuff and whatever. I've knit 6 sweaters since April. It's sort of nuts. So I was like, okay, I actually need to knit from stash because I have things I picked up. So this is one, and I cast on another sweater from the Rhinebeck yarn I got last year.
Oh.
So this is this is from Oasis Farm Fiber Mill, which they dye and spin, like hand spun like yarn.
It's so pretty. It's got such a halo.
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
This is Merino Angora.
I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
Me and the exotic fibers do not get along.
Yeah.
Sadly.
The floof.
So it's a DK weight, and this is for Lily. So Lily's my 14-year-old. She went with me last year to Rhinebeck, and I told her she could pick out a sweater's quantity of one thing, and I would knit her a sweater. So that's what she picked. There's this.
It's really pretty.
It's gonna be beautiful on her.
It's like raspberry.
Yeah. So this is the Netherton Pullover. It's from Pom Pom. This is their very first issue.
Yeah. And they reprinted that first issue.
This was a reprint, because I didn't get the very first one. And in the reprint, this was the cover photo or the cover sweater that was on their first issue. And then they reimagined it into a pullover,
which is so
the Netherton Pullover. And I think I'll check if you can. I think you can get this as an individual pattern now on Ravelry.
I think you can.
I'll link it
can
below.
Buy it online.
Yeah. But Pom Pom just does such great sweaters. It's this one is like a sort of cropped-ish or just right at the waist sweater that has a nice detail along the bottom of it.
It goes with your it's like a fitted crop sweater.
Yeah. But Lily went through like a whole bunch of my knitting, mostly magazines because that's what I get, or periodicals, and found that sweater. She really liked it for this yarn. So That is in progress.
Nice.
I also have a former Rhinebeck sweater in progress.
Yes.
But it's not like a Rhinebeck sweater, like Rhinebeck sweater. It's a sweater with yarn that I got at Rhinebeck. Mm-hmm. So it's...
we shop at Rhinebeck too.
We shop everywhere. Who are we kidding? But there's some stuff that at Rhinebeck that you can't get anywhere else because they don't wholesale, or you can only get it direct from them, or sometimes folks, you can't get it direct from them. You can only get it at a fiber festival because that's the only place that they retail. Mm-hmm. And I don't actually know enough about this yarn, which is CC's
It's so pretty.
wool.
I love it.
Wow, those are huge skeins.
Huge skeins. I'm using, I think it's 500 yards of skein. CC's wool. This colorway
worsted, right?
is barnyard,
or is it
and it's worsted.
It's worsted.
She also has a bulky, because I have that in the same colorway, and I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it yet, because it was just so pretty.
It's so pretty. I love that.
Grays and taupes and greens and a little bit of blue, and there's an occasional like little pink pop in there. And I am making Nurtured by Andrea Mowry. This is the body. I have the sleeves. The sleeves are at home because I finished them. And I put them aside because I was done with sleeves.
Oh, so it's done. It's separate? Or,
It's
is it bottom
up? It's a bottom up raglan. I have the sleeves already done and put aside. I'm making it 3/4 sleeve length. And so I'm working on the body now.
Perfect
pretty
yarn for this.
Yeah,
it
stitch
is.
pattern.
Yeah.
I was holding on to it,
really
and I
nice.
was trying to figure out what I wanted to do because I knew I had a sweater's quantity of it. And the slip stitch pattern is very similar to the honeycomb cowl, where it's one round of knit.
The honey
and
cowl.
then honey cowl
By Antonia Shanklin.
by Antonia Shanklin.
Armano's
Sorry, sorry, Antonio. But it's a very straightforward one where it's a round of knit, and then it's a round of pearls and slip stitches with the yarn in front, which creates this kind of honeycombed pattern, which I think is really great for this heavily variegated.
Perfect for showing with that kind of yarn. It really is.
And I'm doing, for the body, I did the sleeves with just one skein, even though this is hand dyed, because I didn't want to bother with, I'm like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's close enough. The body, I'm blending it a little bit, where a lot of times they say, or everybody recommends for hand dyed yarn, especially if there's any kind of variation among skeins, which there always is.
There normally is, yeah.
is to alternate rounds, or alternate rows. If you're working flat, 2 rows of one, because you're going there and
there
back.
and back.
And then in the round, just going around. I don't like carrying the yarn up. I don't like it. You can see it. It bugs me. So I'm doing helical knitting, which is basically the easier way to do that. And I will do that until this one runs out, and then I'll just keep going with this one. So helical knitting is where you knit in the round and you stop like 5 stitches short of the beginning of the round. You join in a new yarn, and then you do the next row, and you stop that one 5 stitches short of your old yarn. It sounds really confusing until you do it. I highly recommend Mason Dixon Knitting's helical, and I can't remember.
We should do a workshop on that. That would be a really nice afternoon workshop.
Easy, fun, straightforward way to do it. There's a little bit of slipping involved because you just gotta slip some stitches. Do a cup cozy. It's a great way to do 1 row stripes or alternating skeins.
That's what I did on the Northlight honey cowl.
Which is hanging right there behind the camera. That's why we're all looking.
Oh, actually,
here.
Well, whatever.
Yes.
Maybe throw in a picture of how that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
At the end,
Yeah.
And it's just very straightforward.
It's a much more invisible join of the 2 different colors.
It's an invisible join. It works out really well, and it's just an easy thing to do when you're alternating skeins and don't want to be bothered, essentially, with carrying anything up, because you'll never see it on the inside. It just keeps going around a spiral staircase. It's like, if you've ever seen, there's a place in England, and I can't remember where, that has stacked spiral staircases. So it's 2 staircases. Hogwarts. But no, I want to say it's.
Well, it sounds like the astronomy tower or something.
It does, but it was like a military, or it's a castle, something or other, where they had to figure out how to get troops from the barracks to the ground really quickly. And 1 staircase is not enough, but they didn't have room, or it was like a hidden thing. I don't know. I watched some History Channel something or other, or Netflix, whatever. But it's stacked spiral staircases.
That's
so there's
cool.
2 entries, And then they both go around the same helix.
That's very cool.
And you can move twice as many people in the same amount of time.
That's cool.
So
it's the same concept.
Yes.
Both of those are kind of hard to grasp until you do it. And or you see it on the History Channel going, oh, look at that. That's neat. So I'm working on this. Hopefully I'll be done
Can I ask you
eventually.
a quick question?
Sure.
Are those hand-wound balls, or is that
Yeah, I
was
wound them by
wondering the same
hand.
They're so pretty. They're
Thank
so...
They're like pristine.
It's like 500 yards of hand wound balls.
Wow.
Because I did this
yards,
one Saturday? I don't remember. And I didn't have my ball winder. So I was like,
It's really pretty.
It looks
well,
really nice,
screw it. I'm just going to wind it by hands. And you basically use your hand or thumb like a nose to penny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing that with bulky. I would mind doing 1,000 yards worse.
This one took a while.
I would think
This
so.
one did not take a while because I had already worked half of it. And then I rewound it because it's starting to fall apart.
Yeah.
So one I wound on the ball winder, used up half of it, and then rewound. But I always do that. I always rewind my balls because I'm like, it's falling apart and I don't like it.
Yes,
it's too messy.
Too messy.
So,
All right.
all right, that's my on the needles. And now we're going to go to what is new in store. And I'm shoving stuff out of the way because we have a lot that's
We have a
new.
lot. I mean, we're going to go really quickly.
Really
I know,
nice.
Amanda's got... Okay, Katrinkles.
Yes, let's start with Katrinkles.
Let's start with Katrinkles. We love Katrinkles.
We do.
You love
Katrinkles.
Katrinkles. And you may have seen Katrinkles studio tour on Christy Glass Knits recently.
I'll put a link down below, or if I don't know, I would love to figure out how to put a link in here.
I don't think you can click in the thingy.
No, you can.
Oh, you can?
I got to figure out how to do that.
Oh, God. Who
We'll
knows?
see.
If anyone knows, comment down below.
Well, I'm
and
sure
actually-
Google knows. I'll Google it.
Google knows.
But also, thank you to the woman who commented on Lincolnberry. It is Lincolnberry.
I was,
So thank you.
Sorry.
We do.
Nice.
We do.
Lincolnberry.
Appreciate your comments of all
We do,
sorts.
absolutely.
Especially when you can tell us something we don't know. We love
Yes.
that. We love that.
And if
So
you guys
thank
have
you.
any questions about anything we mentioned, anything we're wearing, anything we're chatting about, my random opinions on linens, I'm happy to share.
Yep.
Whether you want
That's
them
right,
or not.
You did promise that.
We did have
I
some-
did, and I will go into great depth.
We did have
So-
some questions about the embroidery kits that we
Yes.
talked about
Yes.
last time.
Can
They
sell
are
my photos.
not on the website.
No. Come in.
But we are super happy if you want to give us a call here at
Yep,
the store.
I've done. Actually, I've had calls
Yep.
from a couple of people. I shipped out 3 to somebody last week.
There you go. And we can take pictures,
Exactly.
email them to you. You can pick.
I'll take pictures of what we had left, and we put it in the newsletter too. And somebody just ordered a few of them from the newsletter. From the
Perfect.
pictures we had in the
Fantastic.
newsletter.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we're even if something's not on our website, if we have it, and I'm here all the weekdays, so I tend to be the one to get those calls. Happy to help you. Get what you want. We
Give us a
ship it
shout.
out normally the next day. Always priority mail, so you
Yeah.
get it quickly.
And you guys, we do ship. So
Absolutely.
like, if you're like, oh
We
no,
know where the post office
I'm
is.
short a skein, and we're like, oh hey, we have it. Like, email us, call us.
Yep.
and
But let's
everything
show them
like
the
that. But let's show Katrinkles. Okay. So
We love the tooltips.
we love the tooltips. So we have the Kitchener stitch, which is basically it's like a little keychain that you can attach to your project bag, and it has how you
because
do
I
Kitchener stitch.
still refer to that
Yeah.
when I start.
Yeah.
And
I could totally
Always.
put this
So
on my
handy.
bag that I put over there that has my
Yeah,
hipster
yes,
cowl on it.
because
exactly,
you're going to be
'cause
Kitchenering
then
a
when-
bunch.
Probably on the train or on a plane.
German short rows, which is my favorite method of short rows. We also have the
I
wrap
need
and
to get that
turns.
one.
I love the German short rows. I was so
that's
happy
really
to see
cool.
that she did this one. Make one right, make one left. Brioche basics, brioche increases. Which one is this? This one is increases. We have a ton of these.
Yeah,
So
they're so fun.
come on in, check it out. And what I think is really
I
fun
love this
is
one.
the knit gauge swatch key, which would be awesome to take with you to Rhinebeck if you're like, I can't remember what I need of what yarn. This tells you your yarn weight, the number, so 0 lace, how many knit stitches per inch, 8.25 to 10, what knitting needle, and what needle size. And the needle size, so the
US
knitting
size
US
knitting.
size, and then the needle size millimeter, which is also
Yeah.
really handy for crochet, because the crochet millimeter size and the knitting size are essentially the same.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you can use this interchangeably. And look, it's got Yarnia on the back. So come on in. We have a bunch of these little tool things.
And then we've also, why don't we jump over here a sec? We've got
Yes.
more
Those
knitting
knit
needle
gauges.
gauges and all sorts of fun things. We've got New Jersey.
Yeah.
We've got a little alpaca. Got a fox. I'm sure we have more of these.
Oh, we have so many designs of these. Like,
we got a bunch.
10 or 12.
Because we couldn't make a decision when we saw her.
So we just got 4 of each.
And we're like, they're so cute. I love them all.
And then these, which we sold out of before, but we have back in stock now. It is a needle gauge and a swatch gauge.
Yeah.
Which I love this.
And a ruler.
I have in my Yarnia pouch and carry,
handy.
travels with me all the time.
Because I
everything
never
you need in one little spot.
It's everything you need. You can measure.
Yeah.
Your gauge,
the turtle is another one.
I love the turtle.
And then we got some wraps per inch gauges as
that
well.
was a special request from Beth.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a
get
puppy.
the wraps per inch.
It's a puppy. I don't know that you can see it. But
then
we'll take pictures.
These lovely little cedar chips. The cedar hearts are adorable.
So these
I keep
are
one of these in each of my project bags now.
little cedar hearts with a Yarnia Y. I have no idea if
I'll take pictures.
you'll take pictures. It'll be pretty.
I'm going to take a picture of, like, all the Trinkle stuff.
Yeah. And so if there's something you like, email us or
call.
shoot us a note.
But
these little babies you can put in your stash. You can
put with
throw
your
in your
completed
project
sweaters.
bags. Put with your completed sweaters, and they basically moth prevention.
Yep.
And they smell really good.
I love the smell too. I like cedar.
And if they ever lose their cedar scent, just give them a little with sandpaper. And it'll totally refresh it. And then we have stitch markers. We have a ton of stitch markers, including these little leather bracelets that have. This one has a fox. This one has a mitten, a llama, a chicken, a bunny, a dachshund, a 1-inch stitch marker.
Those have been very
little
popular.
mini ruler.
Yeah. And those are the lobster claw clasps.
Yeah,
these are lobster claw
either
clasps.
for knitting or crochet.
Crochet friendly, guys.
But it's a little bracelet.
We got the lobster claw and the solid ring ones.
And check this out. This is a little clippy thing. It's a little spiral that you can put your stitch markers on and take them off. So you clip it to your project bag and then you just run your stitch markers on the spiral. So you can do any stitch markers. These we have the dangly sets, which again, a bunch of animals, including a hedgehog and a corgi, and a beginning of rounds. And I believe the stitch markers are separate from the spiral. Is that right?
Yep.
So the stitch markers are priced separately.
Coconuts would fit on these too.
Coconuts will fit on these. The spiral is separate, but this gives you an idea of what you're using. And then
we have some sets.
Kitties.
Yeah, we have a few sets. This one's all cats.
Kitties.
This one has all of your instructions. So if you're knitting a shawl that has slip slip knit or knit two together or slip one knit one pass slip stitch over, so you can put this on your project where you're supposed to do an action.
Yep.
And it will remind you, without having to look at the pattern every time, what you're supposed to do at that point in the shawl.
Make one right, make one left.
Right side, wrong side.
Right side, wrong
and these
side,
are
clippies.
brand new. Because we had actually picked out something different.
Yeah.
And Katie emailed me and she's like, on the right side, wrong side, do you want what you picked out or do you want our brand new best friends?
It's
and
so
I'm like,
cute. The
best
broken
Best friends.
Yes. So
we want the best friends one.
it's little hearts that are broken apart like a best friend friendship necklace that says right side and wrong side, which is super helpful when you're knitting something that looks the same side on both ways. A garter shawl.
Yep. Exactly.
Right?
Garter stitch.
Just clip on the right side, the wrong side on the wrong side, and you'll know what you're doing.
And then the absolute favorite where we were
so cute. Oh my goodness.
Went a little bonkers.
Crazy. Just a little crazy.
But it was so fun.
Oh my gosh.
So these are
I'm gonna get more of these.
metal bracelets and
Bangles.
Can, bangles that you can throw your cute little acrylic stitch markers on, and you can make your own kits. So, and you can also just get like the acrylic stitch markers. So we've got a bunch of colors, a bunch of shapes. There's hearts, there's circles, there's stars. Some of them are sparkle, some of them are sparkle holograms, some of them are solid colors.
Little aqua
mirror
hearts. Oh my goodness.
Mirror blue.
So cute. So cute.
So we have this little tree of mix and match. Look, teal, mirrored. I love it.
You can tell which one she picked up.
I know, you can tell. I was like, ooh, teal! Amanda's like, yeah,
pink
no
hearts and iridescent hearts. Those are
little orange stars. Actually, they're like multi-pointed stars. They're
Yes,
cute.
it's like
a
7-pointed star.
Ah, okay. These are really fun. Little octagons.
And little flowers, and some of them are frosted. So super fun, a great mix and match, a great gift for knitters if you're looking for...
And these go on the leather cord bracelets. We have the metal bracelets. These wood ones can go on these bracelets and vice versa. So
to your heart's content.
Yeah.
And they're priced bracelet and then however many, and stitch markers are separately. So if you only want like 4 stitch markers and you want them all red, go ahead.
You can do that.
You don't need a full set. You can do whatever you want.
You
You do you. And the bangles are great because I have a large wrist, but they still fit my wrist.
And it's so fun. I love that you just unscrew the one end.
Yes.
Basically.
So they don't fall off.
So they don't fall off, but they're easy
to
get off when you're ready.
When you need to. And this one...
Oh my gosh, you did this rainbow order.
Of course I did.
So pretty.
Who am I?
So pretty. And this is the perfect thing. I was like, it's so cute. What are we going to do with it? Now we have the thing to do.
Now we have the thing to do.
I love it.
So that's Katrinkles.
That is Katrinkles.
We may have more other stuff from Katrinkles in store, but this is literally what I grabbed before we started.
Yeah.
So I didn't grab
5
everything.
pages to put in inventory.
It was a lot.
We have
for
a lot.
Amanda. And
but we couldn't decide what we wanted.
Yeah.
And
it was so good.
Like her stuff is fantastic.
It's all good. It's
I think
like
we have like
such good ideas.
We have like a whale one of these. I mean, there's a bunch. They're adorable. They're super cute, and we love her. She's so fantastic.
Yeah. Should we talk about new yarn? I'm just thinking about Amanda getting into the city for her lunch.
I do have to get into the city.
We have 2 more things to talk about.
Let's talk about this because it's an accessory too.
All right.
And we already mentioned it multiple times.
That's true. Okay.
Jewel came.
Jewel.
Yay! So many beautiful things. Gorgeous leather goods.
Beautiful leather.
Really
goods.
Leather and
stylish.
metal. Yeah.
Exactly. Leather and metal. So
I'm pulling out.
yeah,
We
we start
have
with the big things.
handles.
Yay.
They are screw-on handles. So basically, the handle pokes through your fabric. There's a little leather washer on the back and a screw, so you can remove them and swap them between your bags.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. These are 28-inch flat strap screw-in handles, and we have them in black and I believe in brown. Yep. And you can see all of the
super dark brown.
The
nice hardware and everything.
The nice hardware in there. Metal shawl pins. You want to go through that? I'm gonna unload my little basket.
Yeah. So we have 3 or 4 kinds. I think 3 kinds of
shells of metal shawl
kinds
pins.
of metal shawl
This
pins.
one is a little twig. This
I
one,
love the twig. It's
I
so
love
pretty.
the twig.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful.
It's really organic looking. I'm going to
So
take close-up pictures of all these, and I'll again put it at the end. I mean, of this segment.
Yeah.
This is like a shiny metal wreath, silver.
wreath, yep.
Yep. This is a peninsular brooch. Which
Say
is
what?
right. We saw these, and I'm like, we have to have this because, okay, let's be real. Me in my house with kids, I'm gonna lose the pin.
Somebody's going to use it for a
Right?
sword.
It could happen.
That's my house.
Um,
oh, look, a baby sword for my Lego
so
guy.
cool.
And
This
I'm like,
is
don't touch
also
mommy's
attached.
stuff.
It's attached.
Oh, I was wondering what the
Yeah.
So
So
the
I just
way...
dangled it in the wrong way.
Sorry.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's attached. You, like put the stick through where you want it to go. Put it through this little slot and turn
then
it.
Flip it to the side.
Yes, and it
Nice.
stays on. It doesn't come off.
Yeah.
If you're concerned about like the weight of your, the stick, because I know some folks are worried that their shawl pins are going to fall out. They're going to lose them. You can't lose it.
Can't lose it.
It's
It's attached.
It's attached.
Very nice.
Really, really sturdy.
Yeah.
I love her closures in general. The metal ones are gorgeous. The leather ones are super fun. These are ring closures, and you can use these for sweaters. You can use these for cowls, which Amanda was talking about.
Yeah.
You can use them for wraps. So it's 2 little leather pieces, and they have a little thing that you screw it into one side
Right.
and one in the other.
There's no sewing in for any of these.
There's
clothes.
no sewing.
no.
There's no sewing.
And so the cool thing is they're, you put them on if you want to switch it off to another sweater. It's not hard to do that.
Yep.
I've been thinking about doing another Carbeth cardigan and using... Did you do that for
I
your
used
She used the buttons.
the
use
leather
the
buttons,
buttons. Yeah.
for my
Screw
Carbath
on.
because I didn't want to sew on buttons and I can't make decisions. So this is fantastic because if I wanted to, I could swap the buttons between sweaters really easily because they just screw in. And you can also use them to take a scarf into a cowl.
Yeah.
Right?
And we saw a beautiful comfort fade cardi at TNNA that had one of these closures across the front.
Yeah. So if you
because
see,
that's not a sweater
the ring
that has
opens,
a closure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can so you don't have to unscrew anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's essentially
I think I'm going to do, we got that that kind of goldy heathered eco wool.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do another comfort fade cardigan and do closures, one of these closures, because I just think that would look so pretty. Sorry, what did I say? Yeah, Carbeth.
I said comfort fade.
Yeah, Carbeth.
This one has like a little latch.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, that's so
which
cute.
Is so handy for
These are these snap together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And those come in sets of two, so you can basically be like,
yeah,
here's my big drape front cardigan that I'm gonna make a closed cardigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The buttons come in large sizes and small sizes, in espresso and black.
So we have, and a lot of the closures are in espresso and black, or truffle and espresso. They're dark browns and blacks.
Yep,
there
exactly.
we go. But they go with a lot of different things. So this one is a ring. This one is an oval. We have a lot of really fun options for this.
Yeah.
I love playing with her stuff because I feel like you can transform a flat wrap into a sweater. You can, make it into like a little shrug by putting on closures, but not permanent.
Right. Yes,
so when you decide like, I'm bored of this, or I need the closure for something else. I need to take my...
Yeah. She had examples. Screw in two here and screw there, and now they snap together. Yeah, you can totally style it like however you want.
Not to mention the shawl cuffs.
Yeah, the shawl cuffs.
Amanda has there, which is a piece of leather with a snap, or we also have leather with like a ring toggle closure that's really pretty. And you style your shawl, so if you're ever unsure about how to style a shawl, which can be a little tricky because they don't all, especially short ones, won't necessarily stay wrapped unless you tie them, but even then they'll come undone.
Mm-hmm. Or slide around or whatever.
Yeah,
this makes it more stable.
And this makes it really versatile for the shawlettes that I always love because they're one skein projects and they're small, but you're like, I can't wrap them around my neck. I'm like, I want to wrap it twice, but with a shawl cuff, I wrap it so it overlaps to the shawl cuff, and then
you're done.
Pop it on,
you're good.
So these are a range of prices. I love the fact that they're reusable. So this closure is $30, but I could use it on 8 different things that I can think of off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. And really easy to switch between objects. It's like jewelry.
And they're super well made.
Yeah. They're so well made.
She uses very nice closures.
Oh. It's such a great style. Such a great style.
Oh, this goes in the other bucket.
Yeah. We have buckets. We have buckets and buckets and buckets because
this one goes here and this one goes
so these are in store now.
Yep. Again, in store,
same
not
deal,
online.
not on the website.
Same deal, not on the website.
But you can call. We're happy to let you know what is currently available. We can ship it. We can put it aside for you if you can stop into the store to pick it up. Whatever works.
Just let us know, and then we'll send it off to you. And then we have yarn. Yay!
Of course we have yarn.
So, Spud and Chloe.
This is new brand
new in the store. A new brand for us in the store. Spud
Literally
and Chloe.
Just opened the box.
Sweater and outer. So, sweater is the worsted weight, and it is 55 wool, 45 organic cotton, and it is superwash. It is machine wash and dry. It is
and you've used this before,
gorgeous.
Jen,
I have
right?
used this before. So I made my youngest when he was 2. I made him an owlet sweater out of this color, which I can't actually find the sweater. I think it is in the Precious Treasures bin. No, it's somewhere in the house.
Okay, yeah.
I just couldn't actually access it to bring it in. It's in the Precious Treasures bin.
I need to go through my Precious Treasures
day, and it washed up like a dream. It looks like the day it was made.
At least we've got a couple of palettes. So if you're looking at making a
kid something
or a rainbow something.
Rainbow.
Right? We have the whole rainbow.
Love it. I love this pinky red.
Yeah. Love the Yarnia orange.
Yarnia orange.
I'm not in gradient. I don't know if I can shift these around.
Here, I'll hold the worms.
Okay. There.
It just feels so nice. It really does.
It feels lovely. It's warm. It's soft. It doesn't pill. Like, I love this yarn.
I think it was initially marketed as sort of a kid's yarn.
Yeah, I think so. That's why you have, like, kind of the candy color rainbow.
This year, they've expanded their color palette.
Gorgeous.
Right?
Such nice neutrals.
Now,
So pretty.
they have grown-up colors. Well, not that
these aren't grown-up colors, but, like, brights.
Or-
And then the dusty
Well, I'm just...
Spud and Chloe colorways of, like, look at this. Great
stomp.
I
Grape stomp.
love it.
I love that one.
I love it.
I think this is your teal.
This is my teal. This is 100%
This is such a pretty,
my teal.
like, taupey, super pale taupe.
Right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So the grays and soft
I love
pinks
these
and
light
soft
pinks,
blues.
light blues. Oh, I would love a sweater in either of those colors. All three of these, all four.
And I have to
may be
say,
taking this home. We'll see.
this makes such a wearable
Yeah.
garment. Whatever you do out of it, it's very wearable because
I
it's
love
wool
that
and cotton.
Cotton and wool
I bet it's
blend.
so transitional over
Perfect.
the seasons, right?
It's perfect. It's
Yeah.
warm. It's not scratchy. If you have anybody
I'm not
who's
scratchy
fussy,
at all. Like it's like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but it's also got enough sturdiness in body. It's
as the softness
dream
of
to
cotton.
work with.
Definitely.
I really love this yarn. I love a wool cotton blend in general because I feel like it is very wearable. And this is worsted, Spud and Chloe.
Yep. And it
so
knits up
it's
like a true worsted, right?
like a true worsted.
Yeah.
Like a true worsted. So I made Ollie Owlet
I have a
out of
picture
this,
of it.
and I modified it pretty heavily because I had to switch gauges. You can find the details in my Ravelry,
I'll link it.
which is Jabo.
I'll link it down below.
Yep. And he's so cute.
He is.
I have a really cute picture that I
I'm
sent
thinking.
to Amanda.
And then
She'll
we
do.
have Spud and Chloe Outer,
So
which
Spud
is
and Chloe
super
Outer
bulky.
is the same fiber content.
Yep.
It's wool and cotton. So this one's 65-35.
Yep.
Is the other one 55-45?
The other one is 55-45.
Okay. So a little
So
more.
this is a little more wool,
wool.
but it's a bulky yarn, so that kind of
a
makes
bulky
sense.
yarn, which
I
makes
mean,
more
you're
sense.
gonna- yeah.
Still
And again,
very wearable.
gorgeous colors.
Yep.
Still
a little
washable.
heathery look.
Yeah, they're not flat colors. They're nicely dimensional.
Ooh, I
This
love
is a beautiful
this
teal.
green.
I love this.
Ooh, I love that one.
What
That's right,
is
I do
with
love
you
that
Pale
guys?
pink.
Look at that
They're all so
combo.
pretty.
No, but you
Yeah.
know what it is? It's like, 'cause I love this kind of like leafy green. It's so nice. This would make a great blanket.
Yeah.
Or a hat or cowl or accessory
Oh,
or
yeah.
sweater. You
Yeah.
can
I
have
think
a
we
sweater
couldn't
out of
decide which teal to get. We got both.
yeah. Well, one's aqua. And
One is
teal.
aqua, one
Yeah,
is teal.
they're just
One
you
is
know,
aqua and one is teal. There are differences.
Very nice.
So these are brand new in store, and I believe they will be part of our yarn tasting, which is coming up. We have a yarn tasting where it's basically like come for an evening or an afternoon, and you get little samples of a couple of our new yarns and a couple of our old favorites, and at least sweater, maybe outer will be in it as well. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I forget what's on the list.
I forgot what's on the list too, and I have them in
Also,
my
it's a
house.
lot.
The
It's a lot.
evening,
It's a
the
lot.
evening
There's
version
12.
is about 3/4 sold out.
Okay, so
if you are interested in doing the evening
How
yarn
to?
tasting, get on that.
if not,
the afternoon
Sunday
one, it's a Sunday
afternoon
afternoon,
one.
that's almost half sold out. So
Yeah.
and that is later. That's in early October. So there's still more spaces.
There's
in
still
that.
more
But
seats.
they're,
It'll be
they're
a fun
both
day.
moving well. So yeah.
it'll be great. But I love these yarns. I'm super excited to have them.
Yes.
So
They're really
they're
nice.
in store now. Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
They'll be on
So
the
you can
shelves
come
by the
see.
time this podcast is up.
And again, if it's not on the website, give us a shout.
Yep.
Exactly.
The only other thing we have on the table to show
All right.
is
Oh,
the
yeah.
new issue
The new
of
pom-pom.
Pom-Pom.
Yay, pom pom!
So my work in progress, the Netherton Pullover, is a pom-pom pattern. We love pom-pom. And the fall issue just came out, the autumn 2019.
Literally Friday was the
Yeah.
first day we
A
could sell
lot
it.
of great sweaters.
And we did.
Oh, really? So we've only got a couple left
Yeah.
in the store. We don't get a lot of them in, but we can reorder. Let's see, there was one pattern I really love in this issue. This trove. Right.
So pretty, yeah.
I love this sweater pattern.
So pretty.
It's so awesome.
So pretty.
So,
Yeah.
It's
yay.
great.
So
It's
don't miss
lovely.
that.
All
right.
So I think
Well-
that is it for our podcast. We're going
I
a little
think
long.
we like talk another 10 minutes every
Well, it
episode.
actually has been a long time since we podcast.
It
We've
is.
got a
It's
lot
has.
been a while.
Yeah.
of whips, and obviously we've all been working on our Soldotnas.
Yeah.
Clearly. Clearly. And we have new stuff coming in every week. And I feel like
Yeah, we've had so much new
our
stuff
fall
coming in.
podcast might be a lot of like chock full of new stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Comment below. Make sure to like and subscribe. And you can follow us online on our website, which is Shop Yarnia, on Ravelry, which is Shop Yarnia, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Snapchat. What am I forgetting? Anything?
That's everything.
That's a lot of social media, man.
Yeah, that's good.
So look for us there and like and subscribe below and comment if you have any questions, and we will see you next time. Bye. Ready?
Ready?
Okay.
See no evil?
Right, do it again.
See no evil.
See no evil.
Alright, so we are in York, Maine at the beach, Long Sand Beach, and it's low tide. It's about 7 o'clock or 6:30 or something like that. So the tide's way out. The beach is like, it's got a lot of seaweed on it today. But anyway, so we're here. There's Charlie and Jeff. And who are you guys? Say your name.
Abby and Eric.
Abby and Eric. Okay, and Abby and Eric are helping me explore tide pools because we're exploring them all. Because like there's all these like little pools, right? Tons of barnacles.
Stop and wait till Mama takes you.
Yay! And now Abby and Eric are going to show you some things we found. So what did we find?
We got snails, hermit crabs, and now we got these big crabs.
Look at these. We found a big clutch of
They're alive.
crabs in the water.
These
Yeah,
are
they're alive.
alive.
Stop.
It's fun here. There, the back.
No, not the foot monkeys back.
That's the bones.
How alive are they?
Put them on the shelf. That's a
Let
crab.
him do his thing, and then we're gonna put them back. Flip him.
Is he alive?
Yeah, they're alive.
Aw.
Come on, fix it.
Just leave him alone.
Leave him alone. And then you gotta make sure when you pick him up, you don't pick him up and get his
Can I
eyes.
pick him up with the shell?
No.
No, Abs.
He can't touch a
And
crab.
then Jeff found these little guys. Leave him alone. Let them do their thing, Abby.
I want to get sand because it's fun. I want to, you know, play. It's cool. Quiet. Found sand.
No. Okay,
Found
Eric.
sand.
Let me step over the crab pond. Now this guy is like really moving around.
Oh my, he Krabby. Here comes Krabby.
And he's like, how do I hide from the kids? Stay away, Eric. Stay away. There he goes. Come on, Mr. Hermit Crab. We're scaring him.
And this is also.
The hermit crab's in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me get out of this pool
I'm gonna put it here.
for a minute. Okay, but show me your snails in there.
Yeah, here's a bunch of snails.
So they found a bunch of snails in the tide pool.
Gross.
Not gross.
Well, it's a bunch.
Let's
Well,
see.
here comes the big crabby crab. Inside a snail. Clam.
So,
And show them the clam! Show them the clam! Yeah, this is
show
a
them,
clam.
Eric.
Here, yeah, here's a shell from.
Get out of that pool, Eric. That one's the one that has all the crabs. This one is like trying to find a good hiding place away from these crazy kids. He's like, I think they can't see me now. Leave the rest of them alone.
He's stupid. He's stupid. He's
Don't step on that one, E.
I'm just
This
scared.
guy's still like hoping we leave. All right, let's walk down the beach.
Here, I
Let's
know
leave him alone.
I know where we should
Eric, don't you dare.
put it. I know where we should put it. Here, let's put it in this little tadpole. It might be better there.
Oh, he is. He's getting out now, and he's going away.
Yeah,
There he goes.
Okay, let's go for more searching. I can't believe it. We actually found crabs.
See if you can find a snail on a rock. Don't pick it up yet.
Oh, because we want to show them what they put behind us.
Yeah.
So the video's still on, guys. Hey, Mom, can you put that on YouTube?
I'll get it.
Mom, put that on YouTube. Dad, Mom. Yes, we put that on YouTube.
All right, let's find some snails. Oh, here's a good one too.
No,
Here he
Mama,
is.
here's some. I'm just going to pick these ones off.
No, don't pick them off, Abby. I'm coming to see them. Where are
There's
they?
1,
Oh,
2,
yeah.
3, 4.
There they are.
One here, one here, one here. There's one back here. I'll show.
No, it's okay.
Oh no.
This one's
We
underwater.
found crabs and a hermit crab. Hermit crab's in
That's
here.
all. Say bye, guys.
Want to see the hermit crab? Bye, guys!